Hi guys, today we're going to be working in the butterfly garden and we are removing the two azalea shrubs behind me. While they do bloom really beautiful lavender flowers in the spring, after a couple weeks they drop their flowers and then they just sit there, this blob of green behind me. And then in the wintertime, they drop their leaves. And so if I'm gonna look at something in the wintertime, whether it's evergreen or deciduous, I kind of want to enjoy what I'm looking at. And this has the most bizarre growth pattern that I've ever seen. And it is just time to come out. It is tired, it is decades old. And while yes, it was my mom's, but she probably would be like, get rid of it. So that's what we're doing today. But let me show you why I want to get rid of it too. Many reasons, but let me just show you the growth pattern on this thing because it is just crazy. This is the little azalea shrub that we're getting rid of today. And while it is a cute little shape, it just flushes out blooms in the spring and then it kind of just does this up until like fall when it starts to change color, but then it drops most of its leaves and then it's just this skeleton of a shrub and I don't like it. And this monster over here, if you look at it dead center, you think, oh wow, it looks so nice. You know, it's this like oblong kind of massive green and it looks so healthy. But when you come around to the side and kind of look into it, it is a bizarre growth pattern. It's not growing like up. It kind of grows, let's see if I can get down in here. It's right for there is the center of the shrub. And then it just kind of grows, the branches go out and they kind of form a C. So it's kind of curving and trying to go towards the light a little bit, but it's also going through the back of the fence, up the neighbor's fence, and I think it's poking through the other side. So this shrub is just way out of control and it just is not bringing me joy. And if it's not, you get rid of it. And we are going to be replacing these shrubs with the Vanilla Spice Summer Sweets. Aren't they pretty? Look at those blooms. You may have seen these in previous videos when they were in full bloom. They were gorgeous. And the pollinators loved them. So these get about 3 to 6 feet tall, 3 to 5 feet wide. You can prune on them a little bit, but I would probably do it right after they are finished blooming or find a space where they can pretty much naturalize a little bit because they do like to send out little suckers and stuff. And I'm not that worried about it because they do like to naturalize, but so does the crepe myrtle. And the crepe myrtle still sends out these little suckers that I have to come in and kind of cut back. But I just think they're going to be really, really pretty in here. And let me show you, they are hardy in zones 4 through 9. And from what I've read about these online, they do like a more moist, wetter soil, which I think is going to be perfect because the butterfly garden is on a slope, as is much of the landscape a little bit, but it kind of starts up here and it just gradually slopes downwards right to the edge of the bed and then it kind of goes right into the swale. The swale starts right there. So this area back here stays a little bit wetter. So if these like moist, damp soil, kind of like a bog plant a little bit, they're going to be really happy right here. So I'm going to bring out my battery powered handsaw, some shovels, my Felco pruners, and I am just going to get after this thing. And I'm hoping that I can trim it down and get the root balls out on my own. If not, then I'm just going to have to wait for Mo to get home and he can help me out because I have a feeling I can get the little one out, but the big one, I think that's going to be my struggle. But I'm going to give it my best shot. All right, guys, here we go. All right guys, I got the little azalea completely dug out of the ground, root ball and all. And the big one, I was able to take the handsaw and chop it all the way down to just a little bit of a nub. But it is still in the ground, and I am definitely going to need Mo's help getting that one out, because I tried and that thing is really rooted in there. And it's been there for many, many years, and it's a very old shrub, so it's definitely got a hold on that ground. But I wanted to show you the progress so far and explain to you kind of what I did, show you what I did and what I'm thinking, because I think I am going to pause this video for the weekend, because we are supposed to get rain all weekend long. And I kind of want to watch the water flow pattern here, because I never could see behind that big azalea shrub. I never knew how the water was flowing. All I would see was just a lot of mulch pushed into the swale or into the yard. And I don't know if it's coming from like the front edging part or the back behind the neighbor's fence. So I'm going to give it a couple days and just kind of keep an eye on it and watch it and see what exactly I need to do. Do I need to regrade it a little? Do I need to edge a little more? Maybe add some rocks in there to kind of help with erosion or whatnot. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And then early part of next week, we'll come back out here and get that big root ball out and we'll start planting. But let me show you what I've done so far. All right, guys, here's the area. Doesn't it look so much better? It's so much more open. The sun is actually hitting the ground finally, and it just feels so much lighter. I feel so much lighter. I feel like I can breathe a little lighter now that that big green blob is gone. So I was able to get the little one out of here, root ball and all, and this is the remnants of the other shrub. And that is as far as I got, and I'm going to definitely need Mo's help on that, because it is really, really rooted into the ground. But I think this area just had like a weight lifted off of it, and now it can all breathe. So again, so what I was thinking is I'm just going to let this whole area just kind of breathe for the weekend. We're supposed to get rain, and I kind of want to be able to see the water flow, because I know water flows right along the edge line here, because I can see some soil erosion like right there. So I know I'm gonna have to come in with topsoil and regrade a little. But I think right here, because the mulch and everything has kind of spilled out onto and into the lawn and the swale, I know I need to kind of re-edge this a little bit, and probably come in with a little more topsoil, regrade, and then maybe I was thinking some like darker colored rocks like right in here to kind of hold everything back a little bit. But I want to see what happens right around here, because with that big green shrub right there, I was never really able to see exactly what was going on. So I do plan on coming out here this weekend and just kind of watching the water flow, because when I did go back in here to kind of cut all this stuff out, the ground is kind of still holding on to a lot of water. So these Vanilla Spice Summer Sweets, they do like moist, you know, kind of boggy situations. So I do think they'll be happy here, but I definitely want to see what's going on with the water flow before I get these in the ground, because I kind of want to get this whole area, you know, ready for these plants to get in here. So we're back out here after a few days of stormy weather, and I was able to come out here and see how the water flow was going back here. And I did notice a couple things. One, along the edge of the bed, that's where a lot of the water is flowing from, and there's a lot of erosion there. So I think I need to regrade with a little bit more topsoil and kind of slow that flow down a little bit. But I also noticed behind me, the roof on our neighbor's garage, the water was just kind of falling off there, hitting the ground, and then just kind of pouring into our yard from the fence. So it was coming from the back too, but not a lot. So I don't think I have to do too much back there, but I did get a good idea of just exactly what's happening back there. But today we're going to be attempting to remove the root ball from that big rhododendron, because if you can kind of see, it is quite a bit cloudy, so I think we're in for another rainstorm. So we ran out here real quick and we're gonna try and get this up. Mo just got home from work, so he's gonna be gathering his tools, and then we're just gonna get after this. But while he's doing that, I wanted to show you something else, because I kind of sort of had a change of plans for this area. So initially my plan was remove these 2 rhododendrons and then put in those 3 Vanilla Spice Summer Sweets. But over the course of the weekend, I was kind of playing around with arborvitaes, a couple of hydrangeas, and the Summer Sweets, and I stumbled across this little design, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So I've got an emerald green arborvitae right there, and that'll kind of fill in this whole section right over here. And then I thought, instead of putting the Summer Sweets right there, I'd put in some Pugster Pinker butterfly bushes, maybe a hydrangea, I'm not sure. And then I have one of the Vanilla Spice Summer Sweets. And then right over here, another arborvitae. And then over here, we've got, right in the center, we've got the crepe myrtle. So then I put another arborvitae here, another Vanilla Spice right there, and then finished it off at the end with another arborvitae. So we've got 2 arborvitaes on each side, spaced the same distance from the crepe myrtle, and then 1 Vanilla Spice Summer Sweet on each side. And then I thought, why not put a couple of little lime hydrangeas right over here? And I kind of sort of have to be careful with this whole thing because of the swale, because it comes from pretty much the corner right over there, but it ends up right in the middle. So I have more room over here, kind of less room over here from the fence. And we want to get a shed and put it right over here. So I don't think I'm going to build this area up too much right now, because we don't know what size shed or what design. So I'm kind of just doing just a little bit. So that's pretty much where my head is at with the design of the back side of the backyard. So I'm kind of still just kind of mulling everything over. I was thinking maybe putting even a couple more little limes in between the arborvitaes and stuff, which I do have 2 in the front flower bed that I just planted that I have no objection to pulling up if I need to, because, you know, I like to play musical chairs with my plants apparently. Anyway, so we're gonna get all set up, and we're gonna go tackle this root ball before the rain comes in. All right guys, so it's been a few days and we've had the craziest weather. It's been raining off and on for days. So this little project has kind of taken a little bit longer, but Mo came out the other day and was able to dig some of the holes where I'm going to be planting some shrubs. He was able to kind of just lift that sod layer off, and I'm just going to come in with a shovel and plant some shrubs and trees and stuff. So I'm going to come in here and regrade this bed a little bit, add a little topsoil before I start planting, and then I'm just going to kind of go after it and get them all in the ground, and then I'm going to come back around and I'll show you how it all looks. Alright guys, so I got everything planted and watered in, and I even did a little shuffling around in the butterfly garden and mulched all of that in. So let me take you around real quick and show you what I did. Alright guys, we're in the butterfly garden, and this is where I planted the first emerald green arborvitae, specifically here because when it grows, I wanted to eventually block this view that we have of like our neighbor's storage area. So I think when this grows, because it gets 12 to 15 feet tall and only 3 to 4 feet wide, I think it's going to be a perfect little block right there. And then right over here, I did have 5 Shasta daisies, but I pulled one because I wanted to put the Vanilla Spice Summer Sweet right here. And so I moved one, and actually it's been rehomed to a friend of mine. But this is the Vanilla Spice Summer Sweet, and it is in its autumn show, and this is what it does. It pops with this yellow color, and then once the entire thing turns yellow, the leaves will slowly start to drop. But God, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And then I decided to put in 3 of the Pugster Blue butterfly bushes because I wanted to get them in the ground, and I wanted to try this area too, because this area does tend sometimes to stay a little wet, but I planted these high, and I did put in some topsoil too to kind of raise the grade of the bed. So I'm hoping that kind of solves it, but we're basically going to be putting these to the test. And then as we go down, here's the other emerald green arborvitae. And then right over here, the other emerald green arborvitae, another Vanilla Spice Summer Sweet, and then the last emerald green arborvitae. So the whole thing is just the beginning of a privacy hedge, but I didn't want to do it like the emerald green arborvitae hedge because that is just a very formal straight line. And back over here, I kind of wanted to mix it up a bit and get different textures and different heights, different colors, and just kind of create a living wall, but with different deciduous plants, evergreens. And so this is just the beginning of it. And I think it's going to be fun to watch. Now, I am a little concerned about a couple of the arborvitae because they did start to get stressed out in their containers. So I did throw in a lot more biotone starter fertilizer and a lot more land and sea compost. So I'm hoping that they kind of just bounce back. And then I just came in over here and just regraded with a bunch of topsoil and added a bunch of mulch and just watered everything in. And I think it all just looks really good. I'm really happy with this, and I'm really happy to see more plants in the ground and less plants on our back patio. So I'm starting to see more patio than plants, but I do still have a few butterfly bushes, hydrangeas, echinacea, and look at the salvia. The rockin' plain, the blue salvia, and the bumblebees just go nuts. This thing is covered from morning to night with bumblebees. And the sweet potato vine is starting to look a little tired, but I don't want to pull anything yet because they're still feeding on this. So I'm just going to leave this here as long as possible. The 1 pot Supertunia Vista bubblegum did make it all the way down to the ground, but it got beaten up in a wind and thunderstorm. So it's looking a little tired, and it's got some gaps in it because it really took a beating. And then this way over here, see, these still look so good, but the bumblebees are all over them. So I'm just going to leave that. And then here's the other 1 plant Supertunia Vista bubblegum. And it's looking good. It's all the way down to the ground. They did make it. And this is one plant. Isn't that amazing? And I'm just so happy with how everything is progressing. I'm thrilled that more plants and shrubs are in the ground and the patio. I can see more of the patio. And I still have a bit more to get in the ground before the winter comes. And I am doing my best to get it done. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So I noticed that there were a few spots in the bed that weren't completely covered with mulch. So I ran down to Home Depot and grabbed some more mulch, but I also ended up grabbing some more stones that I used in the swale, and I used them on the bed, and I kind of lined the edge of the bed all the way around because I wanted a little bit more extra protection to kind of help keep everything in place and not have, you know, the mulch come flying into the lawn. And it looks really pretty. Check it out. So this is the area that I added more mulch because it was looking pretty bare. It was barely, like, not even a dusting, and there were some patches of just dirt exposed. And this is what I did with the stones that I got. I created a border all the way around the bed, right to the edge of the fence, and you can see this is where the swale starts. And I just kind of wanted a little bit more protection, kind of keeping the mulch in place here. So I'm hoping that between the regrading and the addition of the rocks, the stones, that it kind of stays in place. But they're so pretty. I love them. And these are the same stones that I used to line the edge of the swale. There they are, and they match. Also, I was gifted 2 golden emerald arborvitaes, and they are beautiful. Look at that color. Oh my God. And these are about 3.5 feet tall. Oh, and I love them. And I'm also thinking I may pull this emerald green out and replace it with one of the golden emeralds because they're just so pretty. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to get back on here real quick and just kind of show you a little bit more of what happened after I finished filming the video, because I wasn't intending on doing any of this like rock edging, but I kind of just got into it, and next thing I know, here we are, a fully edged bed. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.